Ooh, what's up, everybody? We back in the building, man. With Let That Be Known Sports, where you get all your sports needs, man. We're here to talk about another one, man. The Mavericks have fallen again, man, to the Phoenix Suns in a close victory, 125-116, man. We're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about everything else that's going on in the NBA, man. So lock in with us, man. Even going in on who our MVP favorites are. So lock in, man. Here's my co-host. Here you, John.
My bad, y'all. What's going on, y'all? Grab yourself something to drink, sit back, relax. Let that be known. Sports. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man?
Man, nothing much, man. Crazy landscape in the NBA right now, man. Things are everywhere. It's everywhere. Man, when you go back and look at the beginning of the season and you look at now, boy, you talking about crazy. Jimmy Butler is on the Warriors. Luka's on the Lakers. You got all of these crazy moves that has happened. And everyone is still wondering, what is the end goal of what's going on with these teams? So you have a team like Dallas, which is our team. We don't know what's going on. Dallas literally have, at this current moment, only have 7 people that can currently play. Only 7 players. Now, you're supposed to have a roster of 15 to make to put this into context. Most NBA rosters, this without question, you got 15 guys. Now, you're not going to play all 15, but you got 15 guys who can suit up on the thing.
And we started with 9.
We started with 9. We had 9 before this game. 2 went down. Now we only have 7 players who are currently able to play. This is what it's come to, man. This is you talking about rock bottom. This is low. Like, this is stuff that you would do in a rec league. You would go out there with 7 players. I know it because we've done it.
That's a fact.
My bro Zeke said, how much
Shout out to Zeke, man.
How much they paying to play right now? I need these school loans paid off. No cap, man.
Hey man,
you might, man. You might.
I'm sure they're gonna open trial because man, they
might
like flies out there, bro.
And they might give you 6 figures, man. They might.
Yeah, man.
They might, man. We need everything, man. I'm just gonna lay this out right now.
We
need everything from training staff to coaches. Like, we got a coach that's locked up currently.
That is a fact.
We're missing assistant coaches. We don't know who the heck the training staff is because the whole roster's hurt. And what's so crazy is everybody on the roster, they're hurt with lower extremities.
There's no upper extremities. Nothing's up.
Like, what are we doing here? What is going on? We got 7 people who can play. And we can't sign anybody because we used all of our 2-ways and the cap is out of control. So they literally can't sign anybody.
And even the guy we got on 10-day is hurt.
We do have a guy on 10-day that's hurt.
He played one game. He was balling out the game.
He was hooping. I had hope for the young fella, but he went out after one game, man.
With a quad injury.
Lower extremity, man. This training staff is trash. Like, I don't understand how they still got a job and the whole roster's hurt. I have never seen nothing like this before in my life. I've never seen a team that only can play 7 guys, only have 7 guys available. I've never seen this before. Like, we're literally going to have to go and get the Texas Legends to fill in. Which I've said we probably should let the Texas Legends just finish out the season.
That's a fact.
Like, this is done for. Before somebody else get another serious injury, like, just sit everybody down, man, just say, man, and give them a servant's pay and say, man, we thank y'all for your service, but you're no longer needed here at the Mavericks organization. Because this is ridiculous. Man, if y'all serious about trying out, man, y'all hit me up in the comments, man. I'm gonna reach out to the management staff, man. I'm gonna DM them, man, and email them. Only serious inquiries only, man. I will email the Mavericks staff, man, and try to get us some players in there, man.
Like Z making this case now, man.
I don't even need to just take care of my $60K. I got loans, and I guarantee some wins. So we have one serious.
We got one. We holding open trials tomorrow.
He's willing to finish off the season for $60K.
Yeah. He said we got this AAU team.
Now, for sure, we definitely got AAU team. That's stuff that we used to do in AAU. Go out there with 7 to 8 guys.
Yep.
Like, and be like, okay, we straight. Like, not knowing that's not normal. Like, you're not supposed to have 7
All
to 8
it takes
guys.
is one to go down, and
man, you have 1 or 2 injuries, you cooked. And that's what happened to Dallas. We had 9 guys. And that was crazy within itself, only having 9 guys available. 2 guys went down today. We're cooked. You got 7 guys who can actually suit up and play. So that means Dallas only has 2 subs on the bench with no big man.
And if you watch the game, over half of the bench was in street clothes.
They over there,
no exaggeration.
They over there fly too. I ain't gonna lie. It's a lot of expensive clothes on that bench.
Thousands and thousands of dollars worth of clothes over there.
It's a lot of clothes over there, boy. Man, you got the whole gallery on that bench, boy. Them boys over there fly, boy.
I know the Galleria, they happy right now, boy. They getting that free marketing.
Getting that free marketing, man. And it's gotten out of control, man. But leading from that, man, and I want to get your opinion on this, and I want to get everybody's opinion on this who's watching. For those who don't know, Mark Cuban recently did an interview. And of course, he was asked about the Luka trade.
Actually got it, bro.
How long is the clip? Because we don't want to play it too long.
I don't think it's like, I didn't get like the whole interview, but just kind of like when he was speaking about Luka. Let me see here.
How long? Y'all bear with us, man. Let's pull this clip of Mark Cuban and to give his thoughts about the Luka trade.
Let me see.
This is his first time speaking out about this.
So it's showing like 8 minutes, but I don't think we have to show like the whole 8 minutes. But
we'll try to give y'all like 2 of it, like 2 minutes, man. Is it good? Turn your mic on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, is it good? If not, we can just keep rolling.
No, you have to hold on, man. My whole computer just like went out on me. So It's
Well, we'll
blank
keep on.
dark.
I'll talk about it, guys. So, in a nutshell, man, the interview of Mark Cuban, man, he was talking about and asked about the trade of Luka Doncic. And they asked him, "Are you upset about the Luka Doncic trade?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm upset about the Luka Doncic trade, of course. But I think his biggest issue was you didn't really get nothing back for Luka. You gave up a 25-year-old superstar, and you got an aging star, a role player, and 1 first-round pick. We watched Minnesota give up 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. Utah got 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. And the Mavericks got 1 first-round pick for Luka Doncic. That is crazy. That is crazy. Which leads to, why didn't Nico do this? Why did Nico, instead of him shopping the deal around, why did he go straight for the AD deal? And only for 1 first-round pick? What is really up? What is he hiding? What is the real premise behind this move? Because it doesn't make sense. Normally, if you're going to move a really big-time player like that, you're going to try to get a whole lot back in return. It just only makes sense. If anybody's out there, if you was a GM or whatever of a team and you was trading away your best player, you're going to want a lot back in return. You're going to want picks, a lot of players. It just makes sense. What has happened doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So, which leads us to believe that there is something going on more behind the scenes of what's really trying to take place. Are they really trying to move the Mavericks? And so that's the quorum. To catch you up, John, we're talking about the Mark Cuban, man. And Cuban said he basically was pissed off because we didn't get enough back for Luka Doncic in the trade. What's your thought on that, man?
Yeah, he did, something that he would have never done. But he said if it was going to be the case, he's going to get the house for him. He's not going to get what we just got for him. I mean, it logically, it makes no sense. Never did make any sense to begin with. A 25-year-old superstar who hasn't even hit his prime. But yeah, he did allude to it. Like, even if he even entertained it, he's getting a boatload of picks and players if he's going to do that. And for them to do it the way that they did, he was disappointed, and I think he's starting to regret selling the team, or at least selling it to them, because it's like his legacy is being tarnished in a matter of 3 months, a year.
Yeah. It really started this season. So we'll just say this season. So in a matter of 3.5 months.
Yeah, by 3.5 months is he went from the finals in a promising year to the dumps.
When you went from being one of the dominant teams in the NBA and looking like that you're going to really turn this market over and actually become a large market team to a must be destination to now everybody in the league like, what the heck is going on there? And like I just told the chat, John, I said Utah got 5 number 1 picks for Rudy Gobert.
That's a fact.
To just put this in perspective for everybody. They got 5 number 1s for Rudy Gobert. We got 1 in 2029 for Luka Doncic.
from a number one from a team that's going to be in contention for the next 10 years. Make that make sense.
It don't make sense, man. But man, moving on, man. That is what it is. Let's be real. This is my guy Zeke said, let's be real. This is all a scam to get people back to watching the NBA. It's been dying because Cass ain't been playing and putting in there all
All
season.
season.
They are trying to keep up with the WNBA and the NCAA women. I believe, I definitely believe that this trade isn't black and white. It ain't as just as simple as, oh, we just want to get rid of Luka and we just want an AD. If you believe that, you're foolish.
Yeah.
If you believe they would trade a top 3, top 4 player in the league for one first round pick for an aging star.
No, it don't work that way.
And now mind you, he just came off the finals. He just came off the NBA finals. Like this just doesn't happen. You don't go to the finals and then you get traded the following year. It just don't happen. And so, yeah, for those out there who don't believe in conspiracy theories, I'm sorry. This is not black and white. Yes, do I believe they didn't want to pay Luka? Yeah, I believe the new ownership didn't want to pay him. Because the new ownership don't care about basketball.
Not one bit.
They just care about the bottom line, like how much money we making and how much money can we save. That's all they care about. They're not basketball people. They came up in the casino. They're all about making money. They're not all about winning. They don't care nothing about the sport. They took this over to make money. Now, Mark Cuban actually loved basketball. He actually loved the Mavericks. He cared about winning. That's why Mark Cuban would have never done this deal.
That's a fact, man. It like it's so much more he wanted to say, but of course he can't.
I mean, he can't say that because technically he's still Mavericks.
Maverick, yeah.
He's a minority. He's a minority owner, so he has to, right or wrong, back the Mavericks.
Back the Mavericks, yeah. So it's, but yeah, I do. Like I said, I think he just day by day now, every growing day, he just regrets selling them to who he sold them to. Yeah, man, it's just that's tough, man. But yeah, man, let's move on to the rest of them.
We'll move on, man. Segue into that, man. It's been a hot race, man. And I'm talking about the MVP race. Now, as the season is winding down, we're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. And teams are trying to solidify their position in the playoff race, in the playoff hunt. And now we're looking at who could potentially be the MVP. And I'm going to start with John. John, who at this moment, who is your MVP at this moment?
Well, this is tough. I don't know if I have a definite yet. Now I do have a top 2.
Okay, who you top 2? Who you top 2?
Shea and Joker is in my top 2.
And chat, put in the comments who you got right now is your MVP favorite. Who you got winning it right now? If the MVP race was to end today, who's your guy? Put that in the chat, man.
But yeah, so I got those 2, man. I mean, Joker, man, is killing, and he's on his way to averaging a triple-double for the year if everything stays steady as it is. And if we're going through the true phrase of MVP, like everything goes through Joker.
That's
And
right.
I mean everything.
They're trash.
Scoring,
They're trash
facilitate.
without him.
They're trash without him. Because I'm sure that plus minus when he's off the floor is
Oh
ridiculous.
no, it's bad.
It is ridiculous.
I
And
would like
so
to say this, and if you watch the show, I'm not a huge fan of him. But I got to give the love, man. And I have to say, I don't know why he's not even near the top 5. Why he's not in the top 5. And that's Donovan Mitchell. But the Cleveland
he
Cavaliers,
has been balling.
he has been balling, and they have been the number 1 seed by a landslide.
Let me see what there's.
And I don't understand like how he's not.
Snap. They got an 8 game.
They on a 8 game.
No, it's 8 game between 1 and 2.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a landslide. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you're on a team that's that dominant, how you're not getting any consideration in the top 5 of MVP voting.
It's the market.
I mean, I understand it's the market. I mean, Denver is in the big market.
Yeah, but it
ain't the market. It's the media. And this is what we've been talking about.
Old media.
It's not the market because Denver is not a big market. But yet they get on there, they talk about how great Jokic is. And yet, don't get me wrong, he is great. He is a great player. But it's the media of selective who they want to push. Milwaukee is not a big market, but they will talk about Giannis. It's never the market. It's who they want to push. OKC is not a big market, but they will talk about Shea. It's not the market. It's the media. The media makes and breaks MVPs. The media makes and breaks awards.
Now, what I will say, I do think that Shea is going to win it because they've been pushing for Shea for the last 3 years. So I do think that he's actually going to be the one to win it. That's my pick. That's not my pick, but that's who I'm saying. That's who's going to get it. Who's your pick?
I mean, I agree with that. Because Shea has been the favorite. They really wanted him to be one of the faces of the league, but he just doesn't have the cachet. He doesn't have the personality. And this is what all of this ties in together, right? The whole Luka move to LA, all this ties in together, right? For a while, for the past 3-4 years, the NBA has been looking for a new face of the league. With LeBron, slowly exiting the league, they understand they need someone else who can carry the brand. First, they looked at Tatum, right? They was trying to push Tatum so hard. They was pushing it. I don't know why Tatum's not getting the love. They was trying to push Tatum. For whatever reason, fans are not, he doesn't have the gravity pull. So they moved away from Tatum. And then they went to Anthony Edwards. Oh, he's the next Michael Jordan. I mean, they was building him up. He might be Michael Jordan 2.0. We don't, I said, man, the kid, boy, y'all putting it on. And he actually said, I don't like that. I don't want that pressure. And he gets a lot of that from Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is one of those ones who they was trying to put in the early his career in the GOAT conversation. But he said he didn't want that. I don't want that pressure. That's too much pressure. I don't want the pressure that LeBron has had of this image I have to keep up because all of this branding is on my back. I just want to hoop. So Ant-Man said, no, I don't want to be the face. And then 2, why would I want to be the face of a league that constantly tears down their star players? Why would I want to carry that? So Tatum may work. Anthony Edwards didn't work. They was trying to get all U.S. based basketball players. They didn't want a foreign player to carry the brand. But it came to they have absolutely no choice.
Top 5 players are.
So when they thought about it, they said, well, I think we should try Shea. So they went on this Shea pushing campaign. It's not working. It didn't work. Shea is a really good player, but it just didn't work. They looked at Jokic. Jokic just don't care about basketball enough. So Jokic really just treats this like a 9-to-5 job.
That's a fact.
Jokic, like, when I walk off that court, I don't want nothing to do with basketball.
Ain't doing no interviews, none of that. If y'all don't do it on the court.
That's Jokic. Jokic, like, I don't want nothing to do with basketball. So that wasn't gonna work. They tried Giannis. It just didn't work. They tried him. It just didn't brand him. And that run that Luka went on last year, they just had no choice. With his ability to lead a team and to cuss people out in Sylvania, it was must-see TV.
Yeah.
Him hitting game winners on Rudy Gobert, like all of this stuff, just had people in
child of God.
Had people in an uproar. Luka had the gravity pull. Want him to be the face, but not on the Mavericks.
Let's get you to a hotbed.
Let's get you to a hot market. And let's really build him up there. That's why now Luka can do no wrong. This is the same player that everybody criticized his whole tenure with the Mavericks. He got criticized his whole journey to the finals last year. Criticized. No one picked the Mavericks in any series. The Mavericks were no favorites in none of the series. They played the Clippers the first round. They weren't the favorites. They played OKC, wasn't the favorites. Played Minnesota, wasn't the favorites. And everybody had something negative to say about Luka. The reason why they couldn't do it. Now goes to LA. Oh, they look like they're contenders because of Luka. It's the same Luka. It's the same Luka. But Luka is being bred to be the next face of the league.
Oh, man.
And you can tell by how the media talks about him. They're building him up, bigging him up, building him up, building him up. They put him alongside LeBron. So, like, figuratively and literally, he can hand him the keys. And LeBron can give his stamp of approval.
That's another storyline. Golden storyline.
So, like, this thing is crazy, man. It's crazy because I believe, man, the politics in the game, and people want to know why the NBA has lost a lot of its luster, why the NBA isn't cherished as much. It's because of the politics. Like, it's much more than just basketball. If it was just basketball, it'd be a joyous thing. It's almost like for those who play who's hooped, when you go to a court to hoop, it's fun, man, when you can just show up and y'all can hoop, nobody tripping. But oh boy, when they get to tripping about foul calls, the score, you be ready to leave.
Or fight.
When everything is an argument at the court, and for those who hoop, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We arguing about the score. We arguing about who scored what.
After every bucket.
I got 2. He got 1. We arguing about everything. We're arguing about was it a foul or not. We want to shoot for the foul call. We arguing about the basketball we playing with. Everything. It takes the fun out of the game when you're stopping and you're arguing about the politics of the game. That's essentially what you're doing at the playground. You're arguing about the politics of the game, arguing about the score, who scored what, who's going to do what. Or you might be arguing about who got next.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is the politics of the game. Now we transfer that over to the NBA. Now the politics of the game of who's going to be the face, who's carrying what brand, who's going to be the MVP this year, which the qualifications of the MVP don't really make sense. MVP, the most valuable player. How do you want to break this down? Is it the best player or is it the most valuable player? Because those are two different things. The most valuable player means he means the most to his team. If you would remove him from his team will completely be shattered. A la Mavericks. Which while we was proclaiming that Luka was the MVP last year. Like if you remove Luka, the Mavericks are nothing. And I agree the same with the Nuggets. If you remove the Nuggets, if you remove Jokic from the Nuggets, so that's always been a big thing, man. Most valuable player or the best player. Like, but it's all become subjective, man, according to the media. And you have to understand why we throw the media in there a lot. Is because a lot of the guys in the media, they have votes.
It's 90% of them are old media guys.
Like Stephen A, all them, Chris Broussard, they all get a say. They get a say in who's the MVP. So if they don't like you, you're not getting it. That's politics.
That's a fact.
All of those old media guys, they have votes in who's the MVP. If you didn't know.
So with that being said, man, so far as top two or who we think is top two far as MVP, they played today. Nuggets and Thunder. With Thunder pulling out the win. 127-103. Now, of course, it was a lot closer than the score alludes to. Shea had 40. Jokic had a near triple double, 24, 13, and 9. I think they're gonna factor games like this in the face-offs, even though they play two different positions. They especially hearing how Perk and Stephen A was ranting and raving after the game about Shea, like this is their confirmation that this is who they're going to vote for. It was flat out obvious, like almost like see, this is what I'm voting for. See.
They've been doing that for multiple years. Like last year, Stephen A. like, well, this who got my vote.
Yeah,
but you would think that he would keep that anonymous. Like,
no, they getting bold with that now, bro.
No, they getting bold. They telling you like, I ain't voting for him. Like that's why I says the politics has taken the fun out of the game. Like they're spending a whole segment on ESPN, man, talking about Bronny James, a 55th second round pick. A whole segment of a second rounder. They hadn't said nothing about the top 10 picks in the first round.
Oh, the
Most of
number
us
one
don't.
pick.
Most of us don't even know who are in the top 10 first round pick last year. Most of us, to most people concerned, they think Brandon was the number one pick last year. He was picked almost dead last. I think it was only 2 picks out to him. 2 or 3 picks out to him.
3.
And we're sitting here talking about a second round 55th pick, which most second round picks are projects. Most second round picks coming to the NBA, they are not ready to play. They need to go through the grooming and learning process. First round picks are considered to come in and help right away. A la Dalton Connect.
Stefan Castle for
it's the
San
reason why
Antonio.
the Lakers took Dalton Connect in the first round and not Brandon James. Because they knew that Dalton Connect could help them right away. Brandon James was going to be a project.
Man, let me read you the top 10 in this past draft. You let me know how many you recognize or that you know that's been putting in work. Number 1 pick, Zachary Wasasher from Atlanta.
He went to Atlanta.
I ain't heard a drop.
He not hooping.
He not hooping. Wizards, they drafted Alex Sarr. He's out there, but he ain't hooping.
Boy, he's 7-2 a garbage.
Garbage. Rockets drafted Reed Shepard.
He hasn't been playing.
He ain't been playing. He been hurt, and then he got hurt too, so that ain't help. The Spurs drafted Stefan Castle.
He been hooping.
He's been hooping.
For sure.
So I ain't gonna hit on that.
He's been hooping.
Detroit drafted Ron Holland II.
Shout out to the Dallas native, man. He been playing a little bit. So shout out. I ain't gonna throw no dirt on him. He from Dallas.
He from the crib.
I ain't gonna throw no dirt on him, man. I'm biased. I ain't gonna lie.
Then Charlotte drafted Tidjane Salon. Who?
Shalom, my brother. Shalom. I don't know who Buddy is, but shalom. Man.
Shalom.
More power to you, brother. I don't know where you're at. I don't know who you're playing for. But you got drafted, and shalom to you, man.
Shalom, man. Get your paper, man. And then Spurs, they drafted Rob Dillingham. He went to the Timberwolves. I ain't heard nothing about him.
Oh,
Minnesota.
Lil Rob, man, he play every now and then, man. He's not as good as people thought he was going to be. He still has a huge learning curve, but I think he has a good upside to him, man. But he hasn't really been producing.
Small guard, yeah. Then 9 Memphis drafted Zach Edey. So
you know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Go ahead and let them know how you feel about it, man.
Man, the Mavericks played Zach Edey the other day, man. Now, Zach Edey is 7'4". Yeah. The Mavericks don't have a center on the roster that's available to play. Zach Edey was getting guarded by guys who was 6'4", 6'5", and 6'6". He's 7'4". And I believe he only had 13 points.
9.
He had 9 points. I'm sorry, he had 13 rebounds. He had 9 points. For the life of me, I do not know how he did not dominate in there. It should have took 3 people to try to stop him. He's 7'4". Dallas didn't have no one over 6'10" on the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be concerned. If I'm Memphis, I'll be concerned about Zach Edey. Because if that was the game for him to be dominant, if any game was a game, that was the game against the Mavericks to be dominant.
It was. No bigs at all. Yeah.
They don't have no resistance.
And then number 10, The Jazz drafted Cody Williams.
I think I
If
might
you
have
don't
heard.
know, I don't know.
I think you might have heard of Buddy. But we say this to say this, man. ESPN hasn't brought up none of these guys.
None of these guys.
And even Stefan Castle, who's been hooping, like he's been putting in work, man, with San Antonio.
Yeah.
But the NBA, the media hasn't brought up any of these guys.
Yeah.
Zach ain't the move. He was trash at Purdue. Hey, I can't combat that, man. I have to stamp it as facts because what I've seen him play, and I was concerned about him when the Mavericks was playing Memphis. I said, man, they got big 7'4" guy. We don't have nobody over 6'6". What in the heck are we gonna do about keeping this boy off the glass?
It didn't matter because he ain't do nothing. Trash out there.
I said, oh my gosh. We got Najee Marshall guarding this boy down here on the block. And Najee Marshall is what, 6'6"?
6'6", 6'7". Yeah.
And you 7'4".
305.
305 pounds.
Yeah,
how in the world?
Najee Marshall is 6'6", 220.
You got the man by 100 pounds. How in the world you didn't have at least 25 and 20? At least. There's no center. Can you imagine if Shaq had played against us the other night?
That man would have had 80.
That man would have had 65 and 48. Jeez, you should have at least had 25 and 20. There's no resistance. No one can block your shot.
That's a fact. Hey, but Yak had a bad. Y'all had a bad though.
Y'all could get to it.
Y'all can get to
y'all, it. He had some skills. Y'all can get to it. Now, y'all wasn't as dominant as we would like for him to have been, but he had skills. I can't say y'all had skills.
Yeah, he had a bag. Yeah, young fella
ain't got a jump hook, a sky hook, a running hook. He ain't got nothing to his name. The way he came into this world is what he got right now in the NBA. Nothing. That man is naked in the skill category. Man, it's ridiculous, man, how these guys get to the pros, man. And you don't have no type of skill set. This man literally got to the pros. Hey, man, that's how he came into the world. This man is ridiculous. Man literally got to the pros, man, 7'4". That's why he made it to the pros. He don't have no skills. How do you get here?
And you healthy.
It should be a criteria. Like, man, we're gonna run you through some tests, man, to see what kind of skill set you have before we just let you here on the NBA stage. Because you have no skills. How are you that big? You don't have a jump hook. You don't have nothing.
No, I ain't got none of that, bro. That's a fact, bro. Yeah.
I don't know, man. But man,
before we get up out of here, man. So the Lakers, man, they faced off against Boston yesterday. With Boston pulling out the win, but Bron pulled his groin. You're gonna be out a couple of weeks.
40 years old, man.
40 years old, man.
That man 40 out there playing with grandkids. That's what happened.
Got to pull in their groin, man. I mean, kept going downhill, man. At some point, man, 40-year-old legs, man, they gonna catch up with you, bro.
Well, he gonna be out for some time. Only thing that can help them is if they get Rui back. And I don't know the deal with him. He's been out.
Let me see what's the deal with Rui.
I don't know the deal with him, but Bron did go down, which did hurt them. The Lakers did make a surge back. I think they got within 4.
Yeah.
last game. Luca and Austin Reeves were got the cooking.
Yeah. So Ruiz still gonna be out a minute, and then Black and Mal, he hurt his ankle, so he gonna be out.
Oh man.
So we finna see, man. I guess Luca gonna have to work some of his magic.
Gonna need something, man.
So that's sheesh. Oh, like Jackson Hayes, he's questionable for Monday game against Brooklyn. I guess one good thing they playing against Brooklyn. So
Man, you can't take them teams lightly, man. You're going and get your tail whooped. You cannot take them teams lightly. You think you're gonna pull up on them and you just gonna have play and you're gonna find yourself in a dog fight. That's kind of what happened today against the Phoenix Suns and the Mavericks.
yeah,
The Phoenix Suns just kind of shown up and just thought they were just gonna just lollygag around and we'll just beat the Mavericks. Ain't got nobody, and the Mavericks don't. But the Mavericks play hard.
We gave them everything they can handle, boy.
And it came down to the end of the game, man. Which in realization, the game probably should have been over at halftime.
If they came out and did what they're supposed to do, yeah.
The Suns have their full roster. The Mavericks have 7 players. You're in a dog fight with 7 guys.
We're getting hurt every which way. We got people bumping against each other, teammates bumping their heads against each other, giving each other concussions.
It's a real
bleeding all over the place.
It's a real show out there, man. It's a show out there, man. I didn't watch the game live. I went back and watched it. I went to sleep.
And that's what I should have done. I should have got that nap in.
Man, I went in there and I went to sleep and I rest peacefully. And when I woke up, I watched the game. I turned this game back on and rewatched the game. But I was not finna suffer through that. And past years, I used to suffer through like, man, I want to see it live. And I would be dog tired and sleepy, staying up. Now, I will watch it later when I wake up. I'm gonna turn it on. No, sorry, Bob. I'm not doing that mess no more. But man, that's all we have for today, man. We're not gonna keep you guys no longer. We appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. We appreciate everybody, man, for commenting, man, for rocking with us, man. Stay with us, man. We'll Let That Be Known. Follow us on all social media platforms at Let That Be Known. And man, remember, it doesn't cost you nothing to like or subscribe, man. We love you guys.